and welcome to another California Guy video with your host, Cali Guy. And what's up, everybody? I'm here to do a video today entitled, this is a response to Voltron Black. And before I get started into this video, I want people to think mature, for example. Think mature. Don't think that California Guy is beefing with Voltron Black, because he's not. I have the utmost respect for Voltron Black. I do support his videos. I do support his Black Business Challenge. I support what he does in the Black community, and I implore African Americans to check out Voltron Black's channel. Again, I implore to African Americans to check out his videos, because he is a very positive Black man, and I support almost everything that Voltron Black says in his videos. I support his point of view when it comes to the community. I support his love for the Black people, because I love Black people myself, and I myself is an activist myself. I consider myself a Black activist, and I consider myself a Black intellectual myself. So again, before I get into this, I'm only doing this video right now to talk about the content of the last video Voltron Black did, and that was the NWA movie, Straight Outta Compton. Now, I have a few points to make about the video that he did. Let me start from point A real quick. Now, Voltron, you pointed out in the video that the NWA is going to glorify Black violence in the ghetto, and I say no, that's not true. This movie is just like Malcolm X and the Selma movie that came out. It's a autobiography of the NWA rise and fall. Now, whether you like the NWA or not, they were innovative when it came to hip hop. Yes, they were gangster rappers. Yes, they may have done certain things that a lot of you people don't like. I grew up with NWA. I love them. I'm a West Coast cat. I know it's hard for you guys to understand that. I know, Voltron, you're from Texas, but I'm a pure West Coast guy. I'm a West Coast Black man. And so me being from the West Coast, I tend to look at things a little differently from Texans, East Coast people, and Midwestern. A lot of us West Coast cats look at things a little different. So my thing is that before you start criticizing the NWA and what they stood for, kind of do a little bit more research. Number one, before the NWA came out, crack epidemic was strong in the Black community. It was very strong. White supremacy was killing our communities all over the U.S., but mainly here in Cali. Me being Northern Cali and me being from the Bay Area, I could say, me being a Bay Area cat in the early 80s, crack was killing it before NWA came into existence, and gangs was on the rise. The Crips and Bloods was dominant since the 1970s, since the late 70s. So NWA had nothing to do with that. When the NWA came out, they was talking about their hoods. You know, they were repping their hoods, and they was talking about the corruption of the police, the LA Police Department. That's the thing. Before some of you African Americans that's in the South or Texas or the East Coast start criticizing the NWA, kind of look at, again, do some research on Los Angeles, do some research on the Bay. Don't start trashing us West Coast cats in the stuff we represent. We speak the truth. Now, Voltron, I don't remember you criticizing the Notorious movie. I don't remember you criticizing the B.I.G. movie. I didn't hear that. You didn't criticize Power, which was created by 50 Cent, a known gangster rapper. I don't remember you I didn't know you in 2004, of course, but I didn't see you putting out outrage for Get Rich and Die Trying. It's like you give the East Coast a pass and New Yorkers a pass on their behavior, but you're holding a standard to cats in the West Coast. And again, you have to understand what brothers from California, I'm sorry, because I'm reading something, I'm at work. But you have to understand where brothers from Cali is coming from, West Coast brothers. And again, Voltron, you're a Texan, so you're looking at things from a Texas point of view. I'm looking at things from being from the Bay Area, and I've lived in both spots. I've lived in the Bay Area and I lived in Los Angeles, and I think that you're 100% wrong on the NWA and what they stood for. Cube is a militant. He is a conscious rapper. And Cube, he loves the black community. Dre, he loves the black community. Point out this with the East Coast in New York. Point out the fact that New York City, New York rap scene is controlled by Jews. Point that out. You know, they were manipulating those blacks in New York. So it's kind of funny to me that we want to talk about the West Coast. And I know a lot of New York fans are going to be mad. I don't really care, because New York fans know that the Jews controlled the hip-hop scene. Who ran Def Jam? A Jew. He was in bed and controlling everything in New York, but nobody talks about that. We're quick to point out the West Coast, to say that NWA started a genocide, which they did not start the genocide. The genocide was there. They were speaking some truth. I myself used to be a West Coast rapper at one point when I was younger. And we talked about our hoods. We was giving truths off about our hood. So, Voltron, you can't look at it from a Texas point of view. You know, you got to look at it from a West Coast point of view. And again, you know, you can become my show and say further. And I respect what you're saying, Voltron, but, you know, I think that, you know, it's a little bias on your part for the East Coast and Texas hip-hop scene. I do feel that. I feel it's biased. A lot of people love hating on the West Coast hip-hop scene. And a lot of the biasness comes from the East Coast. And, you know, and I'm hoping that there's West Coast brothers out here that could do videos, make comments, and defend our turf out here in Cali. So I'm hoping, again, that, you know, if there's any West Coast rappers out there, some underground rappers, or people that knew about the NWA back then, could come out and defend that. So you can't blame the Crips and Bloods on the NWA when the Crips and Bloods existed. You know, Tookie Williams started the Crips and Bloods. And in fact, I'm going to go far as to say this. The NWA, except for Eazy-E, a lot of those members didn't have those kind of ties to the Crips and Bloods anyway. So again, you got to learn the deep history of the Crips and Bloods up in Los Angeles, because Cube, yes, he lived in the Crip area, but he never was a Crip. So this is a video to Voltron Black, and you know, he can respond to this video, but I do think you're being biased, Voltron, for the East Coast hip hop scene and the Texas scene. You know, yes, we're black people, but we're divided by regions. We're black. I'm a black West Coast man. I'm a black Californian. So it's not like, you know, we all like to see things the same based on region. So again, hit me back, respond back. Anybody got stuff to say, hit me back in Google Plus, or message me, or leave some comments or response video. Peace.